Stangibelisco here. A viewer asked me a question concerning one of the diagrams in the 5th edition of Teach Yourself Electricity and Electronics. It was, I believe, figure 29-5. Well, in the interest of remaining current, I will use that same figure from the 6th edition. It appears as figure 24-4 on page 406 of this book, Teach Yourself Electricity and Electronics, 6th edition, by yours truly and Simon Monk. This particular chapter was written by me, and it's on vacuum tubes. What he wants to know is, can he use a circuit like this one, a triode tube circuit, very simple circuit, at radio frequencies to amplify 100 milliwatts to 5 watts? And the short answer is yes, this would be a very good circuit, basic circuit for that. I don't include any details such as component values. You might want to include a capacitor here, variable capacitor, to resonate at whatever frequency you want to use. I believe his frequency was somewhere in near the 160 meter ham radio band, but I'm not certain of that. Note that it is a grounded cathode circuit. The grid receives the signal, and it's a triode circuit. Now the value of this capacitor, I suggested, be about 0.001 microfarad. The biasing should be appropriate for class A. I will not offer a value for this resistor or this resistor. They would have to be determined by experimentation, and the voltage here on the plate would depend on the type of tube used. The idea being to get 5 watts output. The only potential problem that I see with this circuit, if a tuned circuit is used here, you tune it to resonance at, say, 1.8 megahertz or whatever frequency it was that he wanted to use, is that triode amplifiers have a tendency to break into oscillation quite easily because of feedback between the control grid, or just the grid, and the plate. That problem can be reduced greatly by the use of a tetrode or pentode tube. So I would recommend a tetrode or pentode. I'm not going to recommend a tube type or any other circuit specifics, but he wanted to know this because he said all of his contemporaries, who are old-timers, have either passed to another world or are no longer interested in tube circuits, and he wanted the comfort of having a glowing tube circuit transmitter as he utilized his amateur radio communication skills. In other words, he likes vacuum tubes, and I can't say I blame him. I think they're kind of neat too. They're old-fashioned, but they are immune to a lot of the problems that modern circuits have. Most notably, they are not nearly as sensitive to stray electrostatic charges, such as you might encounter electromagnetic impulses, such as you might encounter from the electromagnetic pulse near a thunderstorm or other disturbance. So that is my basic answer. Yes, this would make a very good radio frequency power amplifier, and by power I mean it amplifies the power of the signal, but not from very much to very much, 100 milliwatts to just 5 watts. You could probably get by with a much lower voltage than this. I would still recommend the use of a tuned circuit here, although it isn't absolutely necessary. 0.001 microfarad output coupling capacitor here, and there you have it, a low power radio frequency power amplifier generic circuit for amateur radio use. Maybe you want to build one. If you're an experimenter, obviously you're going to have to find the optimal tube and component values yourself. I would recommend, as I said, a tetrode or pentode, not a triode, because a triode is too likely to break into oscillation. Stan Jabalisco, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV, saying 73 and so long, which, using this tube or any other type, and my native fist, would always translate to da-da-da-da-da-da.